Hey, Anup. So I run Myndscope Consulting. It's been over a decade since we've been working with businesses. We work with individuals. We work with corporates. We also work with sports people and how we can take them to specific business outcomes by plugging in processes, learning systems, and empowering them through tools and technologies. So that's broadly what we do. Um, so right from skill enhancement, fundamental skill enhancement at the communication level to high-end leadership development. We cover the entire gamut of learning and development, and we use technology-driven interventions. We do something called immersive learning experiences. So that's the gamut of what we do.
And how old is the company now?
So we set shop in 2008. We started off as Kaleidoscope. We've recently rebranded as Myndscope Consulting. So it's been over a decade, close to 12 years now that we've been running Myndscope Consulting.
And who are your customers? Who do you count as in the customer profile? You work with small businesses, medium size, big size. What is the customer mix like for you?
We work with a wide range of customers, and right from two people startups where we've done coaching-based interventions to Fortune 500 companies like we work with HP, we work with Deloitte, we work with SAP, and like I also mentioned earlier, we work with academic institutions as well. So primarily, we focus on academic institutions, we focus on corporates, and we focus on individuals. So these are three segments that we focus and provide our services and solutions. Yeah. So
And how big is your team now?
we used to be a team of 13. Right now, we are four of us, and we work with a gig talent pool, so to say, right? So at any given point, our empaneled team has anywhere between 25 to 30 people who work with us across different geographic locations.
So more freelancers, more skill based. Let's
Yeah,
say.
like I said, we've been also helping our clients create a gig talent pool for themselves. So it made sense that we also started applying similar thought processes within our own company. So, like you mentioned, we look at what are we looking at, what kind of intervention, what kind of consulting services, who do we have available in our gig talent pool, and we, like I mentioned, panel, we just bring them on board for as short as a 1 week intervention to a 5 year long intervention as well.
Fantastic. Gives you the flexibility to grow, I guess.
Yes, absolutely.
Great. So during this time, and when I say this time, this pandemic and everything else that's happening in the world, how has your business changed?
It has been impacted, I would say, almost 100% because as an immersive learning company, our focus was on bringing in the whole human touch and flair, and we take them through interesting programs like golf leadership. We're the only uh, firm in the country that actually uses football for team strategy, football for diversity, right? So everything that we do is very hands-on. Our design thinking programs are all hands-on. So one of the things we used to tell organizations was, unless you get in the whole immersive and engagement, a hands-on engagement, training just stands at a very, I would say, at a knowledge level. Now with the pandemic, um, thankfully, we've been able to onboard our entire learning platform through, uh, I would say, minus the touch and feel, but we've still been able to provide a certain level of immersive engagements when we do our programs, right? So um, I think the fact that our team has done close to, I would say more than 1 million hours combined of virtual training uh, through their earlier experiences, it sort of gave us the confidence that we can quickly onboard our programs and also help our clients onboard their learning programs onto this platform. Yeah. So that's what has changed. The scale of business has changed. The revenue has changed significantly, but the engagement is on. And like I said, thankfully, because of the kind of engagement we've been providing to our clients earlier, the feel good factor is there, and the kind of engagement we've already started providing through the online platform. has created a difference to them in terms of how they can empower their employees working virtually, how they can get their managers to work and lead their teams remote. So that's been the first step, and I think as we proceed, we are maturing that model as well. Yeah.
Fantastic. So you've gone from a purely offline model to a complete online model in a very short span, and that is amazing pivot. Can you speak a little bit about what you do online? I mean, offline you already explained, right? The football and golf and all these various games and tools you used for leadership training and training people in various things. But how do you do that online? What has changed? Are your offerings changed, or they remain similar in the L&D space, learning and development space? Are you doing something
Yes.
different?
What has changed, of course, like I mentioned, right? The mode of intervention has changed. I would say earlier that online was probably around 25 to 30% of our overall business. It's 100% right now. And the good thing about that is that it's given us scale, right? So there were a lot of times where we've had clients who are based in the Middle East, who are based in Singapore, based in a lot of other places outside of India, also in other cities in India, where logistically it was a nightmare and a challenge to make sure that we were able to do the programs. Now, the good thing that's happened, Anup, is a lot of these clients and some of our partners have actually come back and asked us, because now you have leverage of scale, right? So you can sit at one place and deliver the exact training that anybody else would have done, uh, right? So that's one good thing that has happened. It's opened up doors to different uh, markets that we're not even aware of. The second thing that's happened, and to answer your question specifically, is that what we do is we bring in, we've started collaborating with uh, an event management firm. We started collaborating with we do theater based. We have done a lot of theater based learning programs. We are bringing in that level of engagement along with, PPT and content driven presentations as well. We've engaged our audiences with what we call as an action learning project, a live action learning project, where we plug them with a certain learning capsule, and we give them an action learning project. They also work with some of our core consultants and mentors, so you are able to track everything online. You see that the engagement is a little more. People have actually come back and found this surprisingly a little more productive than some of the other classroom sessions that they've attended, right? So that's what has happened. But having said that, there is no substitute to the immersive learning programs that we've been conducting earlier. Yeah.
Nostalgia, I guess. As a founder, what does a day-to-day look like for Afeef?
Well, I think there's no difference now between being a founder and a not being a founder, because um, you're running business from home. Your entire team is running business from home, or all the empaneled consultants are running business from home. The good thing is almost all our clients are also running the businesses from home, right? So, which means that the sensitivity of the dynamics of working from home are same to everybody. So when I I try my best to make sure that there is ample amount of time that's given to my family as well, because they see you all the time. They don't know when you're working, when you're not working. So I make sure that I switch off. Apart from that, I've also sort of realized that the mode of working is new to me and my entire team, right? So we don't necessarily have everything that we probably need to have to help us leverage business, reach out to more people, connect with our clients. So we started also, I've started collaborating and partnering with people who are, I would say, experts in that particular field. Yeah. So I spend a lot of my time uh, speaking to people, looking at what they are doing, how can we engage with them, right? So I think an average of 5 to 6 hours a week goes into seeking new opportunities to collaborate. Yeah. The collaboration could happen, like I mentioned, with someone who's done some kind of an online, uh, 3D design for an architect. And while discussing, we figured out how we can apply something similar to our learning platform as well, right? So a day typically goes into a lot of time goes on LinkedIn and some of the other platforms where we're looking at how else and what else we can actually collaborate with others on, and obviously reaching out to some of our new clients and potential clients on some of the new services that we do. I wouldn't have a daily call to what I do, but I'd say on average around 10 hours in a week goes into redesigning of what we're doing and conceptualizing, coming up with new content, and and of course creating interesting videos and sharing that across different platforms.
Say, what are the top three challenges that you face in your industry, particularly in your company, to grow the business? And
Well, one of course is a problem that I think every industry's model is facing, which is getting and retaining the right talent, right? And in my industry, in my organization, we are domain and knowledge centered, right? At the same time, we also need to have certain skills in being able to deliver some of our immersive learning programs. So we spend a lot of time in onboarding, somebody onto a team, understanding what we do, being able to have very deep consultative and coaching conversations with some of our clients, and then retaining them, right? So that's one challenge that we've seen, which is the reason why we actually slimmed our team from, I don't know if that's a word, we got team a lot slimmer from, say initially from 28 to 30 to 13 to, we just work with the core team of four. And we found that working with this empaneled trainer pool or talent pool has worked out a lot better. The second challenge is, um, the turnover that's been happening at the senior executive level, okay, has impacted business quite drastically. So I'll give an example. So 7 8 years back, there was a prediction to what our business looks like in 6 months and 12 months and 18 months, right? But over the past couple of years, and even more over the past 2 to 3 years, um, we've not been able to predict the inflow of a business using the same model. Now, the reason for that again has been a lot of change that's happened within organizations. People at CXO levels and VP levels and senior levels have moved jobs faster than earlier. It actually means you start the interaction from scratch a lot of times. So that reduces. I would say it increases your sales time. Reduces your ability to predict what your business looks like. So that's the second challenge. The third one is, um, I think that's a continual challenge and something that keeps us on our toes. Is I would say plateauing, reaching a point of saturation, right? Where uh, so when I talk of immersive learning programs, we've seen that uh, we need to keep updating our next offering, right? So the rate of the churn of a certain program is a lot faster than it was earlier. So what used to last us maybe 18 months or 24 months as calendar event has a lifespan of 3 months right now. Okay, which means we need to come up with the next thing, or or innovate the same thing, come up with a slightly different approach to it, a slightly different angle to it. So these are the three challenges, of which I think the third one is definitely in our control. It keeps us on our toes, and thankfully, because of that, we've been awarded for 3 years in a row among the top 10 L&D and leadership development firms using some of our innovation-driven training programs. Yeah, yeah. So
fantastic,
right now, those are the top three that come to mind.
fantastic, fantastic. So again, I mean, these are challenges I believe in your industry is going to be prevalent, and there are going to be specific solutions that have to be figured out for this. But anyway, all the best to Afeef and to your company Myndscope, and I hope that you grow and thrive in the coming days. And thank you for being a part of Founders Chat today.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it's a great initiative as well, Anup. And thank you for having me part of your conversation today.